Hey there, it's me.
And here we are at episode 2 of the Snookers Stories, where the ladies give you a little deeper insight and let you know that the struggle is real. I'm AprilSherri, and here are the ladies of the Snookers Stories. Here's Tamara, the baby of the group, at 46 years old. And you might remember the no-nonsense Miss Robin. Once again, the charming Miss Lynette, or Lynn as she prefers. Who could forget Karen, who let you know that size does matter? All right, ladies, tell us about the ghosts of your relationships past.
I got married at 29, and it was over in 15 years later.
I got married at 33 years old. Actually, I got married at 27 years old. I had my child at 33. And the marriage lasts 9 years. I was so wrapped up into planning this and getting bridesmaids' dresses and my dress, and I didn't even think about the actual marriage. And then on the way home, I got married in St. Louis, Missouri. On the way home, I find myself sitting in the car, headed back to Atlanta, wondering, what the hell did I just do?
I married my high school sweetheart, my first everything, and ended up having children and stayed in that marriage for, gosh, it's been so long, for a couple of years.
I was just so into wanting to be married that I didn't want to, I just let life pass me by. And I really didn't think life was as important to live. Marriage at 20-something was the ultimate. So.
The only way that I was able to stay married is to stay under control, or under his control. And it was very emotionally draining and emotionally, it took me out of my square. It took me to be somebody who I wasn't. If he had told me that this shirt right here was white, I would say, you know what, I do see some hints of white by the time he got finished with me. Been in and out of relationships, situationships.
I like that word,
Situationships.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your best situation?
Haven't had one yet.
Huh? So what was your worst situation?
We don't have enough time.
To get married in my 20s was that I just wanted a husband. I just wanted to be married. I had to be married.
Oh my goodness.
I
for
had
real.
to be married. I just needed it. And I wanted sex.
And you know what? I'm not knocking marrying my high school sweetheart. I'm not knocking that. I think that we were not at a level of maturity to get married. Honestly, I think that's what it was. And I keep saying we. I was good. It was him. He was not. I'm gonna tell it like it is. He was not mature enough.
After I got married, the sex was not as what I thought it should have been. I think I was watching too much TV.
I found myself very close to getting married again. And being stood up at the altar, sort of. Never really got to that point. But the brakes were put on the engagement for one reason or another. And this happened twice. And
Then I asked the ladies, what advice would you give your younger self?
I would say to my 20-year-old self, probably, stay in school, get your degree. You're gonna need it later on. I would also say maybe as far as relationships, be a little bit more picky, about what and who you do.
My advice to me, at 20, would be to explore the world. You're a singer, you can play the piano, exhaust everything that you can by doing singing. Singing fulfills you. When you're singing, you are in heaven. You have found your place in the world. Exhaust it. Just get tired. See the world doing it. See the world doing it.
All right, don't bust my camera. Say bye-bye.
Sorry, bye.
My advice to my younger self would be, you're young. Enjoy your youth and take it slow. And date.
What advice would you give to a 20 or 30-year-old now?
You won't see things the same way in your 20s as you would in your 40s. That's just the way it is. I've talked to people who are in their 20s. They get kind of irritated when you tell them, well, you're not going to see things like that 20 years from now, 15 years from now.
I know.
And because you're there, you're already there, you already know what's going to come their way.
Like Judge Maybelline used to say, look before you leap. I didn't. I think had I would not have necessarily gotten to that point.
Just be assured that what you know is what you know. You need to stand in your truth and be firm in it and not let it be swayed.
If you feel that that person is not for you, do what you can to dissolve that relationship so you won't be wasting time with someone that you really are not supposed to be with. Because I know, I think, Robin, you mentioned that we should wait. I actually had a Facebook stat that had an old lady, and I said, how many of us are waiting for God to send us that man? And I know biblically that's what it says, he that findeth. But Lord, I just don't want to be too old to enjoy it. I don't.
So in our final go-round, I wanted to know two things. Number one, tell me what it's like dating in your 50s. And number two, what do you think is up with the fellas these days?
No one wants to date me. Seriously.
I find it very hard to believe that no one wants to date you. I really do.
Why? Because she's cute.
Exactly. Please. A sister over here said why? Because she's cute.
Yep. They've always wanted the lady in the streets and the freak in the sheets. But now they seem to want the newer, younger, 20-year-old version of me. And I can't be that. I'm sorry. Menopausal, gain a little weight, get a little attitude every now and then,
You look good. You must be real flexible.
Well, girl, no. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. It's not like that. Not anymore.
Sex is huge on their list, and they feel that you should just give them sex for some reason. You shouldn't want anything in return. Not a date, not a cookie, popsicle. You just supposed to give them sex.
I think, and I've often asked this question because that's the first thing a person says. Why aren't you? Why is nobody dating you or whatever? And I think the number one issue is maybe because of my looks, and they automatically assume you have somebody. That's the number one. So there's a shield up automatically that I already have somebody, and I don't.
They think differently from me. That's a challenge because people think different, and I'm okay with that. But I think the problem comes in is that when they're not okay with how you think, and they try to push how they think off on how you think, and they feel like how they think is the best way because they are after something. They want something to happen that they want to happen. It may not be happening fast enough.
No, it's a little challenging because I don't really believe so I had a couple people approach me as if they wanted to date me, so they would take me out and everything. But about month three, that's when it just all started to go downhill because they're like, where's the sex?
I think sometimes the mindset is a little archaic. They seem to have just being married.
The thing that I'm encountering personally is two groups of men, two types of men. Those that have never been married, and they have a different perception of not even marriage, just long-term relationships and who they want to be involved with.
Once I get into a relationship, I almost don't want to invite people to my house. Because I'm a single woman, but I got it going on. I'm going to just tell it like it is, like a lot of us do, okay? They'll walk in my house and immediately it's like, oh, she don't need nothing. She don't need anything. And then that's from that moment on, that's exactly how the relationship goes. As if I don't need a doggone thing, so they don't give a doggone thing. They don't try to, do anything for you.
There's no next level.
Exactly, no next level.
And then those men that have been married and they have a different ideal of, they kind of compare the new woman with their former, whether they're a widow or they've been divorced. A lot of times divorce didn't work out right, so they don't want that type of woman. And if they're widowed, 9 times out of 10, they were so deeply in love with their past spouse that they're always trying to compare you to them, and that never works. That never works.
I don't know why I'm single. I think I know I'm a good woman. I'm a darn good woman. I can throw down in the kitchen. I'm old school. I believe that you should take care of your man, wait on your man, do all that. I believe in that. I don't, so I don't understand it. I love to cook. I don't understand it. Why am I single? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? What's up with that?
What I've been hearing for years, men provide, protect, and what's the other one? Okay, we get it. We get it. But I don't think they get us.
If we're dating, don't tell me that you're going to take me out and then pick me up and ask me where we're going.
Do you find that a lot? With
Yes.
our age?
Yes. And I think it comes from maybe the expectations of other women that they've been with.
So you find yourself, and I keep telling myself, don't do it, don't fall back into yourself. But I don't feel I should have to change to I don't know. I don't feel I should have to change to try to make a relationship or to try to figure somebody out first before I'm me.
There are certain types of women that have different expectations, and men tend to think that all women have those expectations.
All right, ladies, any final thoughts or words of encouragement?
Because it seems like they feel like they're so prized, as Robin said.
Yeah.
They feel we just should be worshipped. You can't even ask the question. My sister had one text her and said, do you want to go to a ball game? And she said, what kind of ball game? He said, you ask so many stupid questions, you must not want to go. Yeah, and then so the next woman said yes right away, so she went. That's who went.
Oh my! Didn't I say it was a buffet?
It's funny because
Didn't I say it was a buffet? He tasted one, but when she wasn't the flavor of the day, he went to the next.
But Tina, we as women have to value ourselves. It's so hard to do, especially when you're lonely or when you feel like you're not going to find somebody, when society and the overall message is all of our men are in jail or dead, or I'm going to die before I'm 20 or 18. Don't believe the hype.
Can I get an amen? Loveless. Where is the love?
All right, that's the end of our Snooker series. You need to be with us next time. All right, April out. If you'd like to hear more Snooker stories, let me know in the comments section. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.